Right now, live at 5, first responders across Minnesota, including those in our region, want to know where confirmed COVID-19 patients are, what they're asking the governor to do. The president says he wants to reopen the economy soon, even if there isn't robust testing in place when it happens, how he plans to get people back to work, and how a 3D printer on the Iron Range is helping those dealing with the coronavirus head on. Plus, 2 U.S. senators from Wisconsin are calling for an investigation on missing absentee ballots in the state.
You're watching Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
Happy Friday. Here is a live look from the Inn on Lake Superior, which is part of a hotel chain that is providing rooms and assistance for responders on the front lines. Good evening. I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. We're learning more tonight about COVID-19 related deaths in St. Louis County.
This as more than 3 deaths related to the virus were announced in the area today, bringing the county's total deaths to 4.
3 of the 4 people who died from COVID-19 in St. Louis County were residents at a Duluth assisted living home. That's according to the president of St. Anne's. He says as of this morning, 17 of their residents are COVID-19 positive. The assisted living facility is under quarantine, and they're working with the state to stop the spread. County leaders say the 4 people who died included 3 men in their 70s to late 80s and a woman in her early 60s. In all, 34 St. Louis County residents have tested positive. Here's a quick look at the number of cases in our area. In Michigan, there are nearly 28,000 cases and almost 1,300 deaths. In Wisconsin, there is more than 3,000 cases and 128 deaths. Minnesota now has 1,300 cases and 57 deaths. Worldwide, there are 1.7 million cases with nearly 400,000 recoveries.
For those working in hospitals during the COVID-19 pandemic, the decision of whether or not to go home to their loved ones after work can be a very difficult one to make. Many fear they may unknowingly be a carrier and spread the illness to their family. So one hotel company with ties to our region has plans to help. CBS 3's Emma Quinn joins us live from outside the Inn on Lake Superior in Canal Park. Operated by ZMC Hotels. Emma, how is that company helping healthcare workers?
Yeah, so Kristen, ZMC Hotels, it has launched a new program called Shelter in Peace, which is for first responders and healthcare professionals can get hotel rooms for discounted rates, and that means hospital workers or first responders can come here and quarantine if they don't want to go home, and it helps them not worry and not give any exposure to their families. As tourist-based hotel business has slowed down lately due to the coronavirus pandemic, ZMC Hotels is stepping up to help those out on the front lines.
Well, really, the phones weren't ringing. We weren't getting emails, everything. So we had to start thinking a little bit outside the box in terms of who is still traveling.
They created the Shelter in Peace program, which offers discounted rooms for hospital workers to quarantine instead of going home to their families.
The extra steps to give these first responders and doctors and nurses that peace of mind knowing that if they do have to shelter somewhere that's not at home, that we've got their back and we're taking care of them.
ZMC hotels across the country are participating, including several in the Northland. They've trained staff and put new procedures in place to ensure safety for employees and guests.
We bring in a heat machine and we treat our rooms up to 140 degrees for 3 hours, which effectively kills everything in that room.
ZMC hotel officials say they are working with state governments on plans to use some of their hotels as recovery centers or quarantine locations for COVID-19 patients who don't need hospitalization should hospitals around the country need extra help.
So the whole property would be selected as a recovery center, and then we would run things real strict. We have a lot of policies and procedures that go into place in that situation. And then also the guests that were in-house, we would then move them to one of our sister hotels so that they stay healthy. They'd be totally aware of what's going on.
The officials are hopeful they can help those who may need it most during these trying times.
Just saying, here's a traditional hotel, thanks for all that you do. It was like, what can we do on our end to really step it up?
And we do have a list of all the local hotels that are participating in the Shelter in Peace program. And like I mentioned, ZMC hotels are having conversations with state governments on those recovery centers should those states and hospitals need them, and those will be provided at a later date.
All right, Emma Quinn in Canal Park for us tonight. Thanks, Emma.
First responders across Minnesota, including those in our region, want to know where confirmed COVID-19 patients live. They're calling on Governor Tim Walz to sign an executive order that would allow 911 dispatchers to access that information. They hope it will help keep fire, police, and ambulance crews safe and limit the use of PPE, which they say is dwindling by the day.
In an ideal world, we would have access to enough personal protective equipment to don on every call for service. Unfortunately, this is not our reality today.
8th Congressional District Congressman Pete Stauber agrees and previously wrote a letter to Governor Walz highlighting the importance. Walz has yet to reply.
As the battle to slow the spread of the coronavirus continues, President Trump is wishing Americans a happy Easter, even if they have to celebrate virtually. The president says he would like to see the U.S. open back up sometime next month, but new projections indicate the country could see a spike if stay-at-home orders are lifted too soon. Natalie Brandt reports from the White House.
President Trump thanked Americans preparing to stay at home for Easter celebrations to help slow the spread of the coronavirus.
We're reminded that our story ends not in despair, but in triumph and renewal.
The president said Friday it appears the coronavirus death toll in the U.S. will be lower than projected and touted progress in some major cities.
Detroit has really started to go up, and now it is stabilizing, and New Orleans is great place. I have so many friends there. They can't believe what's happening.
But task force officials still urge caution and say some areas must still prepare for a surge.
This is not the time to feel that since we have made such important advance in the sense of success of the mitigation, that we need to be pulling back at all.
While some White House advisors have indicated they'd like to see the economy reopen next month, health experts have said widespread testing will be key to returning to normal.
What I would want to see, do we have the capability of doing the isolation, contact tracing, and suppression of it?
The Surgeon General also talked about steps the administration is taking to help communities of color disproportionately impacted by the coronavirus.
I need you to know you are not helpless, and it's even more important that in communities of color we adhere to the task force guidelines to slow the spread.
As lawmakers negotiate additional relief funding, the administration says stimulus checks will begin going out next week to eligible individuals who have direct deposit set up with the IRS.
All right, closer to home, let's head out to Dave to get a look at the weather. Dave, pretty nice day, at least here in Duluth today.
And I think it was a pretty nice day all around the region. We got a break after snow yesterday morning. The sun came out today and melted all that snow away, although there is still a chance a little more could be coming around on Monday, which I'll talk about in just a bit. But right now, let's take a live look at what's going on in Ashland right now, eyeing up Schwamigan Bay, where it looks to me from this perspective that the ice is starting to thin, and hopefully that's a good sign then that spring is finally on its way. Let's get a look now at what's coming our way for the weekend with our sneak preview forecast. And tonight, there's a small Alberta clipper that's coming by that's probably going to try to increase our clouds, and I think that those clouds are going to probably dissipate a bit during the daylight hours, and I think our forecast then for Saturday should be partly sunny. And into Sunday, it'll become mostly cloudy, and that sets us up then for the chance for the snow that could be with us Monday. I'll give you the latest on the theories coming up in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. Still to come on Live at 5, how some crafty Iron Rangers are putting a 3D printer to good use.
And tonight at 6, Governor Tony Evers says he's considering extending Wisconsin's stay-at-home order as state officials say they have to continue flattening the curve. We'll have details tonight.
You're watching Live at 5 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live Local CBS 3. Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on Live Local CBS 3 Duluth.
For every $35 that you spend at the Essence of Health, you'll get a punch on our customer appreciation card. 10 punches will save you $10 off your next purchase.
Our shower was like 20 years old and it was just in the worst condition. We had a new shower put in and it was acrylic and there's hardly any cleaning compared to the other one. We decided to call Bath Planet. And Wayne did contact us, and he made sure that it was a good time for us.
He came here at 8 o'clock in the morning. Job was done by 4 o'clock.
I'm so glad that we chose Bath Planet.
For a free estimate, call Bath Planet today at 218-228-0435.
Hi, I'm Dr. Christine Ripp, a family physician at St. Luke's P.S. Rudy Medical Clinic. Biking to work sets me up to have a great mood and a great attitude for the rest of the day. In a health system where sometimes patients can be seeing multiple different specialists, a primary care physician puts all those together. We act as a team leader to make sure that they are getting the care that they need. What I'm doing is taking care of people and making them happier and healthier.
Don't risk life or limb cleaning out your gutters. With one simple click or call, Gutter Helmet will provide a free inspection and estimate to eliminate the dangerous chore permanently. Our certified installers will clean out, tune up, install Gutter Helmet over new or existing gutters, and clean up the work area in less than a day. Gutter Helmet blends in beautifully with your home, is engineered to handle the heaviest of rainfalls, and is backed by a lifetime transferable warranty, assuring you'll never clean your gutters again. Gutter Helmet, retiring ladders since 1981.
Asbestos diseases like mesothelioma, lung cancer, and asbestosis can be devastating. That's why I called Asbestos Disease LLC. They were there when I needed them most. Asbestos Disease LLC helps victims and family members who were exposed to asbestos get the compensation they deserve from big companies and bankruptcy trusts. Call Asbestos Disease LLC at 800-547-4189. Get the right help when you need it most.
Welcome back to CBS3 Live at 5. Here's a live look over the Duluth Harbor this Friday evening. It's sunny now, but will it stick around? Dave Anderson will have your weekend forecast in just a bit. But first, let's take a look at what's going on around the region. From Virginia to Washburn, businesses and residents are stepping up to meet the demand for personal protective equipment. That and more as we take you around the Northland, city by city. Starting things off in Cloquet, where a local activist group started on Facebook wants to make Carleton County a Second Amendment sanctuary for gun owners. The Carleton County for 2A Sanctuary Facebook group was only recently formed in February, but now has more than 2,000 members. They say they are concerned about red flag laws being discussed at the state capitol. Now to Virginia, where some crafty residents are putting a few new tools to good use. Andrew Lambert, a Virginia resident, has been using his new 3D printer to produce parts for surgical masks for those on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic. Meanwhile, workers at Range Office Supply have been putting their new laser cutter to good use to produce PPE for healthcare workers. Meanwhile, a similar idea is playing out in Washburn, where a local manufacturing company is using their equipment to produce face shields for healthcare workers. Washburn Iron Works is joining other manufacturing companies in Wisconsin to produce as much protective equipment as they can for local medical centers. Also happening in Washburn, the City Council is considering offering small emergency loans to small businesses in the area during this time of economic uncertainty. The city could offer loans up to $2,000 with 0% interest, but the business must show they have been financially affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. If there's something going on in your neighborhood that you think we should know about, send us an email and it could be featured as we go around the Northland city by city.
Still to come on Live at 5, a farmer's market online. One local company is working to do just that. We'll show you coming up next.
Find your favorite CW shows on the Duluth CW, cable, satellite, over the air, and streaming on KDLH Duluth.
If you have to work from home and teach from home, then we think you should be able to pizza from home, too. Right now, get Pizza Hut's best delivery deal. Large pizzas with up to 3 toppings for just $9.99. Available for carryout or contactless delivery at pizzahut.com.
The American Red Cross urgently needs blood and platelet donations and asks healthy donors to schedule an appointment to give during this coronavirus outbreak. Patients are counting on life-saving transfusions. Visit redcrossblood.org.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez, on CBS3.
How do I take the 2020 census? In March 2020, every address in the country will receive an invitation to complete a simple questionnaire. And there are 3 ways to respond. Number 1, do it online. Number 2, call by phone. Number 3, send it by mail. For those who don't respond, a census taker from your community will follow up and assist you. Shape your future. Start here. Visit 2020census.gov.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me in my classes when I must give attention to detail to the task at hand. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting nationalguard.com.
Hi, Minnesota. Governor Tim Walz here. We're in an unprecedented battle against the COVID-19 virus. The state of Minnesota is doing everything possible to keep you safe, but we need your help. We need you to stay home. Flatten the curve on COVID. Let's get through this thing together.
Find your favorite CW shows on the Duluth CW, cable, satellite, over the air, and streaming on KDLH Duluth. Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS3 Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
Yesterday, it was chilly, it was windy, it was snowy. Today, sunshine came around, temperatures pushed back into the 40s. It was a pretty nice day. Let's take a look at the current conditions at the airport in Duluth. And that nice factor, yeah, it's not just for Minnesotans, it's for Wisconsinites and folks in the UP as well. Current conditions, they show 45 degrees at the airport. Relative humidity 40%. West winds going 15 miles per hour. 29.9 inches of mercury. That's the air pressure right now, 1,012 millibars. On the higher side today, but it'll start to slip for the weekend. Today will be the sunniest day of the bunch. And then clouds build in slowly to set us up for a chance of snow that could stick to some towns come Monday. Right now, though, it's gorgeous, like we mentioned. Mostly sunny in Wisconsin and the UP. A little chilly towards Ironwood at 39, but 45 in Hayward's not so bad. 45 to 46 from Solon Springs to Superior. Getting into Minnesota, it's a little bit cloudier and a little bit cool in my hometown of Ely at 39, and up to Gunflint near Grand Marais only 34, but we have 45. Grand Rapids and Aiken and International Falls. Yeah, pretty nice day, all right. Again, temperatures likely will spike tomorrow, but then sky conditions do degrade as we get into the rest of the weekend. So let's eye up the situation that's coming our way around here, and it's going to be showing us here that we're dealing with higher pressure right now. Let's bring in the dry conditions. Coming in along the Canadian border, though, there's an Alberta clipper, and that tonight could make things mostly cloudy sky condition-wise. And then tomorrow for Saturday, I think we could be only partly sunny rather than the nice sunshine we had here today. Now, that's the weaker of the low-pressure systems. I don't even think that's going to be bringing us any precip. It's that bigger one bubbling up out of Colorado, classic Colorado low, that's coming our way for our Monday. So we're going to take a look now at how much snow we're expecting around our area, and of course, it's still a little bit iffy out there. We're thinking that some parts of our region probably won't get much of anything at all. And then you get into the snow belt, numbers could be higher. These might be a little exaggerated right now on both extremes, but bottom line is Wisconsin and Michigan may get more than Minnesota. We'll, of course, continue to refine this progression and chart here as we get closer to the situation. Situation tonight for Minnesota shows that temperature-wise, we're going to be looking at low temps, I think, running from probably mid-20s up north to low 30s right by Lake Superior. Mostly cloudy sky builds in from the Alberta Clipper, as I mentioned, and that could infiltrate folks in Wisconsin and Michigan as well, where their range of low temps likely will be going from 26 to 28 degrees, along with the south wind going 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now tomorrow in Wisconsin and the UP, sky conditions are going to be partly sunny with highs nice, 50 to 55 degrees. Into Minnesota, at least partial sunshine with a range of high temperatures in the 40s for the Arrowhead, but maybe cracking 50 here in the Twin Ports. Now the extended forecast. That extended forecast shows indeed a 50% chance for snow as we get into our Monday. Could come late Sunday night in through at least Monday noon, and then wind down to just flurries come Tuesday. Cooler starting on Easter. Only 39 for a high temp, and we stay in the 30s through Wednesday. But then by next Thursday and Friday, temperatures do start to rebound at least a little bit, which is a good sign that spring isn't going to drag its heels forever, Tony and Kristen. Eventually it will get here in full force and stop teasing us with, a couple of days of warmth here and then a return to the chill coming up there.
Well, Dave, I love a weekend, but a weekend with a 50-degree day is even better. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, sure.
At the start of the pandemic, Vicar Distillery in Canal Park started making hand sanitizer and giving it away for free. They ran out quickly, but just made another batch, and today made it available to the public. The demand was huge, very long lines stretching all the way to the Blue Bridge. People were able to fill a 16-ounce container for free or pay $25 for a 1-gallon jug. 9:30 to 10:30 this morning was reserved for people ages 60 and older. 10:30 to noon was for healthcare workers, first responders, and other essential members of the workforce. At noon, it opened up to everyone, a service a lot of people are thankful for.
Since we are better prepared and we're able to kind of assemble all the ingredients necessary to create the sanitizing solution, we've got people that were ready for the last week or two. So we had that line around the block of the building, and it's been going strong all day.
If you'd like some but couldn't make it today, Vicar will continue the service next week until it's all gone. They plan to post store hours over the weekend.
One local family farm is hoping to keep their business going by moving their products online. David and Patra Wise own a small family farm in Sawyer, Minnesota, just west of Carlton. They were planning to sell their tea, honey, and maple syrup at local farmers markets. But with social distancing measures in place, the safest alternative was to move almost all of their business online. David says they might not have had a website if it wasn't for what's happening.
We just started the business, so we didn't have a lot of products in different stores. We just kind of had samples out there right when this hit. And so the website is kind of how we're going to be able to do our business here, we hope, in the future.
They say during this time they wanted to give back to those on the front lines, so they are offering a discount and a free bottle of hand sanitizer for healthcare workers. A link and details for the sale are on our website.
All right, it's my favorite time of the show where we get to talk about pets that are available for adoption. Today's pet is named Thomas, and he comes to us from Animal Allies here in Duluth. Thomas is a 7-year-old white and brown shelter dog who is looking for a loving home. He is very enthusiastic and full of love. He's so loving that he might try to knock you over to give you all the kisses. Thomas did recently test positive for heartworms, but has received treatment and is looking for a place to recover. If you are looking to add this big goofball to your home, you can call the number on your screen. Thomas is microchipped, vaccinated, and neutered.
Still to come on Live at 5 is college students prepare to finish out the semester online. A look at how hands-on majors are preparing for the home stretch.
When severe weather hits, tune to CBS3.
Tonight at 10, we'll be out here in the storm.
For up-to-date coverage morning and night.
Stay away from here.
Live local weather coverage on CBS3 Duluth. When severe weather hits, tune to CBS3.
Tonight at 10, we'll be out here in the storm.
For up-to-date coverage morning and night.
Stay away from here.
Live local weather coverage on CBS3 Duluth. Get your news on the go, the CBS3 mobile app. Find your favorite CW shows on the Duluth CW, cable, satellite, over-the-air, and streaming on KDLH Duluth.
We're family.
It's good to all be together. Gotta be there when family needs you.
Talk about a win-win.
Sunday night. A great night to spend time with family. And these guys are my family, too.
Being on this team is a rocket ride.
True that.
Good times.
I freaking love it.
Great mysteries.
It's on.
Case solved.
To the best team in town.
New NCIS Los Angeles and NCIS New Orleans. Sunday on CBS.
CBS3 is going live at 5, focusing on bringing you hyper-local news and weather. Getting the stories that impact your community the most, right down to your neighborhood.
Town's 130-year-old.
We're live outside the Husky Refinery.
The city of Duluth is getting a new hockey rink.
A new convention center is coming to Virginia.
Special inn here in Finland welcomes the mushers from
CBS3, live at 5.
Hi, Minnesota. Governor Tim Walz here. During this unprecedented battle against the COVID-19 virus, I want to say how grateful I am for Minnesota's willingness to help one another. I also want to make sure that I say, continue to watch your local news stations. Local news and local newspapers are putting out facts and not fear, and that's what it's going to take to get through this together. If you need more information, please go to the Minnesota Department of Health website. Together, Minnesotans will defeat this and come out better on the other side. Thank you.
The coronavirus story continues to change, both around the world and here at home. We know you have questions and concerns. At Live Local CBS3, our focus is to keep you informed and up to date on the evolving COVID-19 virus story. We'll continue to talk to healthcare professionals to get the information you need to know. Focused on bringing you facts, not fear. That's our promise. We're Live Local CBS3. Local for a reason.
Kelly Hinsteth takes her job at full throttle. There's no slowing down. She's full of enthusiasm.
Kelly brings a youthful exuberance to the newscast. She's loaded with energy. She's really passionate about sports.
I think even if you're not interested in sports, she draws you in.
She's always up and ready to go and ready to show us the latest in sports.
Get to know Kelly Hinsteth weekday nights on Live Local CBS3. Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on Live Local CBS3 Duluth.
More money is on the way to help protect the Great Lakes. Federal officials approved adding $20 million to the Great Lakes Restoration Initiative budget. The average annual budget is $300 million. The head of the EPA says the extra money will help remove toxic sediments, prevent invasive species, and restore wildlife habitat.
Many college students have spent the last 3 weeks learning online. Some of those courses have been more challenging to convert to a virtual format than others. Today we caught up with a dance class at UMD. Professor Rebecca Katz-Harwood says losing the studio environment and face-to-face interaction has been a real hurdle. She added that even though it's a difficult time for everyone, she teaches her 5 students to look at the glass half full and be thankful they can still learn together.
I think that challenge of being able to give feedback, which is something that normally you're able to do much more seamlessly in real time, now has become kind of an either-or task. And so just navigating, figuring out what works best.
The students say they were hesitant at first, especially with figuring out enough space in their homes to dance. They also said it challenged them to work on time management.
Tonight on the CBS Evening News, a question on a lot of people's minds: when will the country reopen? We have some news on that tonight that includes a big warning, plus a major announcement from 2 of the world's biggest tech companies, and how your smartphone might help stop the spread. And we go on the road to meet a newspaper delivery man with a heart of gold for the customers along his route. That's all tonight on this Friday evening on the CBS Evening News.
Find your favorite CW shows on the Duluth CW, cable, satellite, over-the-air, and streaming on KDLH Duluth.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS3 Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3. The coronavirus story continues to change, both around the world and here at home. We know you have questions and concerns. At Live Local CBS3, our focus is to keep you informed and up to date on the evolving COVID-19 virus story. We'll continue to talk to healthcare professionals to get the information you need to know. Focused on bringing you facts, not fear. That's our promise. We're Live Local CBS3. Local for a reason.
Kelly Hinsteth takes her job at full throttle. There's no slowing down. She's full of enthusiasm.
Kelly brings a youthful exuberance to the newscast. She's loaded with energy. She's really passionate about sports.
I think even if you're not interested in sports, she draws you in.
She's always up and ready to go and ready to show us the latest in sports.
Get to know Kelly Hinsteth weekday nights on Live Local CBS3.
I want people to tune in, and I want them to see a friend, because I'm a mother and I know how hard it can be. You're doing all these things and then you have the child and then no one talks to you about how lonely it can be. You know, who do you lean to? Who do you connect with? This segment is very important to me because I get to work, but I also get to work on my passion.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with Leanne Valdez on CBS3.
Find your favorite CW shows on the Duluth CW, cable, satellite, over-the-air, and streaming on KDLH Duluth.
Welcome back to CBS 3 Live at 5. Here is a live look out over Canal Park as we inch closer to the weekend. Now let's take a look at today's top story. Right now, even just going home after their shift can be a gamble for healthcare workers. Many are worried they may be carrying COVID-19 and unknowingly spread it to their loved ones. CMC Hotels, which has a regional office in Duluth and operates more than 6 hotels in our region, recognizes those hardships. So they're offering healthcare workers and first responders big discounts on hotel rooms. It's part of their new program called Shelter in Peace. They also have an option for essential workers who just need a quiet place to rest.
And tonight at 6, 2 U.S. senators from Wisconsin are calling for an investigation on missing absentee ballots in the state. Senators Tammy Baldwin and Ron Johnson are calling on the U.S. Postal Service to investigate what happened to the missing ballots. In a letter to the Inspector General, both cite numerous instances that the Postal Service failed their mission to get all those ballots in the hands of voters. That is coming up tonight at 6.
That's your news at 5. The CBS 3 Evening News is next.
We'll see you back here at 6.